You are sitting there pretending that everything is fine. You smiled at someone today, replied to messages, did your work, posted a photo online, and yet deep down, there is a pain that won't go away, a name that appears by itself inside your mind, a memory that visits you every night without asking permission, and you, even knowing that this person didn't value you, even understanding that they chose to hurt you, still beg, still pray, still suffer, asking for a return that your heart already knows shouldn't happen. And I need to tell you now, with the truth that few have the courage to speak, Archangel Michael is angry, not at the one who hurt you. He is angry at you, because while you kneel for the return of someone who decided to abandon you, you are using, without realizing it, your greatest spiritual weapon, the law of assumption, against yourself. You are assuming the state of someone who has been rejected. You are living within the feeling of emotional scarcity. You are repeating in silence the most dangerous phrase in the invisible world, I am not chosen. And the universe, which only returns what you feel you already are, delivers more and more proof of this rejection. Today I will teach you exactly what Archangel Michael wants you to hear. And when this video ends, your relationship with this pain, with this person and with your own power of creation will never be the same. First of all, understand an uncomfortable truth. You are not suffering from a lack of love. You are suffering from an excess of wrong assumption. Every night, when you close your eyes and relive the last argument, the last message, the last cold look, you are performing the most powerful ritual of spiritual creation, the inner talking. And the problem is that this inner talking is building, with silent and relentless precision, exactly the reality that hurts you the most. You repeat within yourself, I was replaced, I wasn't enough, they never really loved me. And your subconscious, which does not distinguish between what is truth and what is pain, simply obeys. It builds in the invisible field everything that you feel. And the dominant feeling within you today is the feeling of the abandoned. That is why even praying, even asking, even crying, nothing changes. Because your I am is affirming, in silence, the most destructive phrase of human existence. I am the one who was not chosen. Stop. Take a deep breath. Because now, the turning point begins. And as these words sink deep into your chest, I need to ask you something that might startle your heart. Why today, right at this threshold of your soul, did you land exactly on this video? There are millions of pieces of content on the internet begging for your attention, and yet here you are feeling every sentence as if it had been written just for you. In the spiritual world, this has a name. It is called a calling, and those who are called are held responsible. Responsible for their children, for their home, and for the entire lineage of their family. Archangel Michael is placing a choice before you right now. Continue on your knees begging for someone who replaced you, or rise up as the guardian your soul has always known existed within you. That is why I have prepared a powerful digital book for you. It is called How to Know If God Will Save You on Judgment Day, and within it are the spiritual signs that confirm if you are one of the chosen to cross this time of trial alongside the light. The link is here in the description of this video, and also pinned to the top of the comments. Thousands of brothers in the United States have already received this material, broken toxic ties, severed chains of entire generations, and reclaimed the peace they had lost. I do not know how long this message will remain available, because every week the pressure to silence content like this increases. If this video appeared on your screen today, it is because your time has come. Do not delay. Do not scroll past. Leave an amen below to seal this covenant and confirm that your soul has heard the call. Now that your soul has recognized this call, I will give you the first golden key of this teaching. Feeling is the secret. This is not just a pretty phrase. It is the chemical and spiritual formula for all creation. Everything you see in your life today, without exception, is the exact reflection of a feeling you cultivated in the past. Your bills arriving, the silence in your home, the way that person treated you, the sensation that you are always left behind. None of this is divine punishment. It is a reflection. It is a return. The universe simply returns the dominant feeling of your heart. And that is why modern science, through research on the electromagnetic field of the heart, has discovered what ancient mystics have known for millennia. Your heart emits an energy field much stronger than your brain. This field extends for meters around your body, and it organizes, in the invisible world, the exact frequency that your body is vibrating. In other words, what you feel, the world obeys. And as long as you continue to feel the pain of loss, your own heart will be screaming to the universe, "Bring me more loss." Not because you are weak, but because your current state of consciousness is still the state of the abandoned. The turning point happens when you decide, through an act of inner faith, to occupy the state of one who has already been chosen, loved, and respected. And this is the law of assumption in action. And here, in the midst of this spiritual turning point, Archangel Michael whispers a direct question in your ear. Will you continue to surrender your I am to those who despise you, or will you reclaim your crown today? That is why I have prepared a powerful digital book for you, How to Know If God Will Save You. On Judgment Day is waiting for you now in the description of this video and at the top of the comments. It is no exaggeration to say that this may be the last chance your soul will receive in this cycle. Do not scroll past, click and receive. I want you to close your eyes for a moment, even as you listen to my voice and visit the room of your mind. Inside there is a person repeating, day and night, phrases about you. That person is your own self. And what they say is the inner talking that is sustaining at this very moment your entire reality. Perhaps they are saying, "Nobody truly loves me." Perhaps they are saying, "I am always being replaced." Perhaps they are saying, "People use me and then walk away." And the problem, my brother, my sister, is that this inner talking is the most powerful prayer in existence, more powerful than any rosary, any fast, any service, any prayer chain, because it is a 24-hour prayer. It is the prayer you pray without realizing it. And the universe, which is too faithful to disobey you, delivers exactly what this dialogue decrees. That is why so many people spend their entire lives in church, in prayer groups, in spiritual circles, and yet remain sunken in the same pain. Because while the mouth asks for one thing, the heart, in silence, decrees the opposite. And the universe never obeys the mouth. The universe obeys the feeling. This is the secret that Neville Goddard tried to teach the world. This is the principle that Joseph Murphy called the power of the subconscious. And this is exactly the spiritual error that has annulled all your manifestations until today. You are asking for love while feeling abandonment. You are asking for prosperity while feeling fear of the next bill. You are asking for peace while feeling anger toward those who hurt you. And the universe, not understanding the words, reads only the feeling and gives you back more of the same. Now I am going to teach you how to reverse this equation, and for that you need to understand the concept of the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is the place where everything already is. It is the plane where your self-love has already been restored, where your home is already in order, where your family is once again sitting at the table in peace, where that person who hurt you no longer has any power over you. The fourth dimension is the eternal now, and your greatest spiritual error is trying to bring this reality into the physical world through effort. You are sweating. You are wearing yourself out. You are doing 5 spiritual works at the same time. You are asking others, you are consulting, you are demanding of yourself, you are judging yourself, and none of that works, because the fourth dimension does not respond to effort. The fourth dimension responds to a single thing, the law of assumption. To assume is to close your eyes and simply be within yourself that which you have already decided is true. To assume is to occupy now the place of one who has already been answered. To assume is to walk through your own room feeling the presence of that life that has not yet reached the physical eye. And when the feeling of that life becomes more real within you than the feeling of your current pain, then the universe is obligated by spiritual law itself to deliver this new reality to you. This is what Neville Goddard meant when he taught, "You do not attract what you want, you attract what you feel you already are." And that is why so many people throughout the United States are trapped in a cycle of suffering. They want a new life, but they continue to feel the old life. And the universe, faithful to the law, returns the old life, repeats the same rejection, repeats the same fight, repeats the same lack, repeats the same lonely night, until one day someone like you decides to break this cycle. And to break this cycle, Archangel Michael requires of you something that many Americans have difficulty giving: persistence. Not the blind persistence of one who insists on those who do not want them, but the spiritual persistence of one who refuses to leave the new state, even when the physical world still shows the old reality. This is the real war, and it is in this war that your destiny is decided. And now Archangel Michael approaches you once again, with a question that burns like a sword of light. Will you hold firm in the new state, even when your mind tries to pull you back to the pain? That is why I have prepared this powerful digital book for you. How to know if God will save you at the final judgment is here in the description and pinned to the top of the comments. It is not common reading. It is a sword. It is a shield. It is direct confirmation for your soul. Activate this protection today before the night falls. Spiritual persistence is what separates those who manifest from those who give up halfway. And I will teach you now the exact technique that will help you remain within the new state of consciousness. This technique is called the bridge of incidence. Neville Goddard taught that between the state you are living in now and the state you wish to occupy, there exists an invisible bridge. This bridge is not built by you. It is built by the universe itself in response to your feeling. When you truly assume the new state, the universe begins to create small incidents, small bridges, that will lead you to complete manifestation. It could be an unexpected encounter. It could be a phone call that comes out of nowhere. It could be an opportunity that appears in a way your rational mind could never foresee. And your job is not to build these bridges. Your job is only to remain in the state, feeling that it is already yours. But take heed, because here is the mistake 90% of people make, and perhaps it is exactly the mistake you are making now. When the universe begins to build the first bridge, the human mind panics. It begins to doubt. It begins to seek proof in the physical world. It begins to ask others if it is real. And in that moment, without realizing it, the person leaves the new state and returns to the old one. And the bridge of incidents crumbles, and the universe must start all over again. That is why persistence is so important. To persist is not to force the manifestation. To persist is simply to refuse to leave the feeling. Even when your friend asks if that person has called you yet, and you answer that they haven't. Even when your bill still arrives. Even when the silence inside your home still feels heavy. Inside, in the sanctuary of your I am, you remain that loved, prosperous, respected, and peaceful version. And it is this inner fidelity that moves the invisible. Amen. And to help you maintain this inner fidelity, Archangel Michael now reveals the most sacred technique of mental reprogramming, the technique of the state akin to sleep, taught by Joseph Murphy in his most profound books. This state occurs exactly in the minutes before you fall asleep. It is the golden portal to the fourth dimension. In these minutes, your conscious mind is tired, it is shutting down, and the doors to the subconscious open completely. Everything you feel in these minutes will be deeply etched into your internal program. And here is what 95% of people in the United States do every night without realizing it. They pick up their phones, they check social media, they see if someone posted something, they reread old messages, they watch stories, they go to bed with a heavy heart thinking about bills, betrayals, disappointments, and fears. And the subconscious, which at that moment has its door fully open, receives all of this as a decree. And it records it, and it plays it back, and it delivers exactly that same energy the following day. That is why many people wake up tired, anxious, and faithless, even after sleeping 8 hours, because it was not the body that slept. It was the subconscious, repeating the suffering throughout the entire night. Starting today, I want you to do something different, something that will change your life in 7 nights. Before going to sleep, close your eyes and create a short scene, but one deeply charged with feeling. This scene must represent the state already fulfilled. It could be you being embraced by someone who truly respects you. It could be you opening the door to your new home. It could be your phone ringing with good news. It could be your mother telling you she is proud of you. It could be your child hugging you in peace. What matters is not the scene. What matters is the feeling within the scene. Feel as if it were real now. Feel the touch. Feel the scent. Feel the warmth. Feel the emotion rising in your chest. And fall asleep within that feeling. This is the technique that Neville Goddard called falling asleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and it is the most powerful manifestation tool that exists on Earth. 7 nights practicing this, and you will begin to notice changes that your rational mind will not be able to explain. People will begin to seek you out. Opportunities will arise. Conversations that seemed dead will be reborn. Not because you forced them, but because your state of consciousness moved. And the outer world, being merely a reflection of your inner world, is compelled to reorganize. But Archangel Michael asks that you understand one profound thing. These changes must not make you dependent on that same person who hurt you. Often, when you rise spiritually, that person will feel, in the invisible world, that something within you has changed. And they may try to return. They may appear with messages. They may give signs. They may look for a way to have you again. And here is the most painful and most sacred test of your path. If they return through the same old energy, they will hurt you again. If they return transformed with the same reverence that the new version of you deserves, then it will be your decision to accept. But the decision must come from your new state, not from your old neediness. You must first become whole. You must first occupy the inner throne. You must first know deep in your I am that you are a person who is loved, respected, and complete, with or without them. Only then will your vibration no longer attract the same pain. And here I need to speak to you directly, with the courage of someone who truly loves you. Your pain is not because of that specific person. Your pain comes from an old pattern that has lived within your subconscious for a long time, perhaps since your childhood. Perhaps since the first time you felt you needed to perform in order to be loved. Perhaps since that scene where an important adult in your life did not give you the gaze you needed to receive. And your subconscious, in the innocence of a child, decided that day, I must strive to be loved. I must accept less than I deserve so as not to be alone. I must endure pain to feel that I have value. And today, years later, this same pattern continues to choose, without you realizing it, partners, friends, situations, and even jobs that reinforce exactly this belief. This is why the person changes, but the pain is the same. This is why the job changes, but the feeling of not being valued is the same. This is why the house changes, but the void within the chest remains. The exterior is reflecting your interior back to you. And what Archangel Michael wants today, what he demands of you with that sword of fire raised, is that you break this pattern, not with the will of the mind because the mind alone cannot do it, but with a new assumption, a new identity, a new I am. And it is exactly here that many Americans write to me, in messages filled with tears. People who live in New York City, in Los Angeles, in Seattle, in New Orleans, in small towns in the interior of Appalachia. Single mothers struggling with 3 jobs to raise their children, 50-year-old men who lost everything and are trying to start over, women who discovered betrayals after 20 years of marriage, fathers who lost their bond with adult children and do not know how to rebuild that bridge. All with the same question in their hearts, is there still time for me? And my answer is always the same. There is time. There is time because the law of assumption has no age. There is time because the 4th dimension has no stopwatch. There is time because the universe does not judge you for what you have done. The universe receives you based on who you decide to be right now. I have seen 63-year-old women manifest a new love after 12 years alone. I have seen men with ruined credit, with debts of over $100,000, completely reverse their financial situation in less than a year because they changed their dominant feeling. I have seen entire families reconcile, children seeking out their parents again, siblings speaking to each other again, marriages being restored, after just one person, inside that house, decided to occupy the state of reconciliation. Because when one person changes their vibration, the entire system is forced to move. And perhaps you are seeing this message today because it is your turn to be that person within your family. Think now of your home. Think of your mother, your father, your children, your spouse, your siblings. Think of each one of them, and understand that the suffering that exists within that house will not change when they change. It will change when you change. Because you are the spiritual pillar. You were chosen to be the transformer of your lineage, and as long as you remain paralyzed, crying for those who do not deserve you, your entire family remains trapped in that same old frequency. But the moment you decide, on your knees before God, to occupy the new state of consciousness, your house begins to tremble in the invisible. Things begin to move. People begin to change their tone of voice. The silences begin to be filled with forgiveness. And the air within that house, which was once heavy, begins to turn light, not because someone from the outside came to help you, but because you became the channel. And this is what Archangel Michael wants to hear from you today. Not your prayer of a victim, not your plea for help, but your decree of identity. The most powerful phrase in the universe: I am loved, I am prosperous, I am whole, I am respected. I am the guardian of this house. I am the one who breaks cycles. I am. These two words are the very name of God. And when you pronounce them with real feeling, you connect with the frequency of creation. I know that right now your rational mind may be resisting. It may be saying, but what about the bills that are due tomorrow? But what about the longing that hurts at 3 in the morning? But what about the emptiness on the side of the bed? And I answer you, all of this is merely the shadow of the old identity trying to pull you back. This is the final test of persistence. The old inner talking will scream the loudest exactly when you are closest to changing. Do not confuse this scream with the truth. The truth is in the new feeling. The truth is in the I am. The truth is within you, waiting for you to occupy your place. And from the moment you decide to occupy this place, the universe has no other choice. It reorganizes itself. And everything that seemed lost begins to return in a way that your rational mind could never predict. It may not return exactly as you imagined. Perhaps that specific person will not return, and perhaps it is better that they do not. But someone better will appear, someone who respects your value, someone who sees your light, someone who will treat your soul with the reverence that Archangel Michael has always wanted you to receive. Because the universe never takes anything from you without giving you something greater. It only waits for you to release the old. It only waits for you to leave the state of emotional scarcity. It only waits for you to see yourself as worthy. And it is in that instant, the second you feel, without doubt, that you deserve the best, that the best begins to move toward you. Now I want to give you a practical exercise to apply this very night. You will need 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. A few hours from now, when you lie down, I want you to close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. With each breath, feel the weight of the day leaving your body. Then I want you to imagine yourself stepping into a specific scene, a scene where your desire is already realized. Do not imagine how you will get there. Just enter, feel it. If you want to reconcile your family, imagine the dinner where everyone is laughing together. Smell the food. Hear your child's laughter. Feel the touch of your mother's hand on yours. If you want a new love, imagine the scene where this person looks at you with deep respect and admiration. Feel the warmth of that presence beside you. Feel the peace that exists there. If you want prosperity, imagine the moment you receive the news of the great turning point. Feel the deep relief in your chest. Feel the tears of gratitude. Feel the phone vibrating. Hear the voice of the one giving you the good news. Feel your own smile widening uncontrollably. And fall asleep within that feeling. Not within the scene, within the feeling, because the feeling is the secret. And the next morning, before even opening your eyes, before grabbing your phone, before checking messages, I want you to lie still for 1 more minute and reaffirm that feeling. I am that beloved person. I am that prosperous person. I am that person at peace. I am. Do this for 7 consecutive nights, and your world will begin to rearrange itself in ways that will surprise you. And while this happens, I want you to understand one last truth, perhaps the most important of all. Archangel Michael is not angry with you because you have suffered. He is angry because you have yet to realize the giant that lives within you. He sees in you a light that you have not yet seen in yourself. He sees a spiritual mission that you have not yet accepted. He sees the soul of someone who was placed on this earth to be an example of transformation, of strength, of peace. And as long as you remain weeping for those who traded you in, you are leaving this mission in a drawer. You are postponing your purpose. You are delaying your entire lineage. But from the moment you stand up, even with tears still on your face, even with the pain still in your chest, and decide to occupy the new state of consciousness, the entire heavens move in your favor. The angels take their positions. The bridge of incidents begins to appear. The right people begin to cross your path, and you discover that the time you spent suffering was not lost. It was the time of preparation for this new version that is being born within you now. Therefore, before you leave this message, I ask one thing of you. Do not treat this moment as just another video. Treat it as a direct call from the light to your soul. Archangel Michael has brought you here today because you are one of the chosen to break your family's chain and occupy your complete spiritual identity. That is why I have prepared a powerful digital book for you. It is called How to Know If God Will Save You on Judgment Day, and it is the exact complement to this message. Inside are the spiritual signs, the protection prayers, and the step-by-step guide to the inner reprogramming that will seal everything you have heard today. The link is here in the description of this video and pinned at the top of the comments. Do not delay. Do not say, "I will see it later." Later is the place where callings go to die. Click now, receive this material, and start tonight. And if this message has touched your soul, leave an amen of sealing below. This amen is your decree of acceptance, the spiritual act that inscribes your soul in this new reality. Like this video as a decree of acceptance. Subscribe to the channel as a spiritual confirmation that your new phase has already begun. And never again, on any day of your life, surrender your I am to those who do not know your value.